Hey you guys, so today I feel like I'm gonna do something a little bit more personal than what I normally do and help you guys to get to know me better. But of course, I would like to play a game. So the rule of this game is very simple. As the title suggests and as you guys have figured out already, because you're all extremely smart people and I like that about you. Stay smart. I will tell three total stories, three very personal stories, and out of these three stories, only two will be the truth. One of these three stories will just be made up, and it's up to you as the viewer to determine which one is made up and which two are the truth. Story number one starts right after I graduated from high school. So for all you people out there who have a different educational system, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. So when I went to high school, or in Jamaica, we have an English-based educational system. So high school starts at grade 7, ends at grade 11. After grade 11, we do have grade 12, but that is 2 years of grade 12, and it's optional, where you do basically pre-college, more advanced stuff than what's part of high school. So needless to say, you graduate from high school at grade 11, and then you can do grade 12 if you so desire, and you also graduate again from grade 12 after your 2 years of grade 12. Good. So this all started when I was graduating from high school at grade 11. I had a friend that was in her second year of grade 12 who was also graduated from grade 12 at the time, and her name was Anna K actually, but you know, we called her Anna for short. And after graduation happened, I realized, I was looking through my yearbook, and then I realized I have no way to contact Anna. I need to get in touch with her quick. So of course, back at this time, MSN Messenger was the thing. So I hopped on Messenger, found one of my friends, and I was like, yo, do you know Anna's email address? Let me get that, son. And then he was like, sure, my dude, here you go, send it to me. I added her to MSN Messenger, and I was like, she was online, so she accepted the same time. And we were there talking for a good hour. It's like, you know, so hey, Anna, how's it going? And of course, you know, her email address was there, Anna Banana, and I was like, Anna Banana, what's up? You know, and we're there talking for a little bit, and it was good. It was all fun and games, but here's the twist. So we get to the point where I ask her, so what's next for you now that you've graduated and you're completely done with this high school? What are you gonna do for college? And then she responds to me saying, what are you talking about? I'm about to start grade 11. And then I was like, are you Anna K so-and-so? And then she was like, no, I am Anna something else. And I was like, what just happened here? We were talking for like the last hour, and you didn't think that it was weird that some stranger added you and just started chatting you up online. We had such a good conversation just talking about, you know, school and just little stuff, and now you didn't think that it was weird that some guy was just talking to you out of the random blue? And she was like, well, no, I'm actually kind of friendly. And she was cool. We had a lot in common, so we sort of clicked on that, and I guess that's what she sort of went with. But it was so weird to me that we had this whole conversation and she wasn't like, so who are you exactly messaging me here? She never said that. And to this day, I never actually got in touch with Anna Banana. It has not happened. Yeah. Alright, so that was crazy story number one. Number two basically takes place much later when I'm working. So I was at work and then actually met this lady in the biz, and she had green hair. It wasn't like fully green hair or anything, it was more like green highlights in her hair, but enough of it was highlighted for you to say that she had green hair. And I found that very, you know, like very unique, because I work at a corporate job, so you don't find people rocking green hair. And you know, so I go up to her, of course, and we start chit-chatting a little bit. I was like, hey, I like your hair. And then the conversation goes on, you know, for a little bit, and then she lets me know that she's huge into Fall Out Boy. And I was like, no way. I love Fall Out Boy too. So we're there chit-chatting and she's like, oh yes, I love Fall Out Boy. They're having a concert in Tampa in like the next 2 months. And you know, we continue, and then she was like, you should totally come to Fall Out Boy in Tampa in the next 2 months. And it didn't actually happen. I don't even remember exactly why I didn't go. All I know is that Tampa did not happen with lady with green hair. But after that, we saw each other around fairly often, so you know, we became good friends. And then one day she sort of told me like, hey, I'm working on this book and I would really like it if you could just, you know, just read over my draft for me and let me know what you think. You know, I'm trying to get some fresh opinions. So she gets me this book, and it's a fully formed book. It's not like, you know, typed up computer paper, anything. It was like legitimate book, and I was like, okay, well, it's a draft. And I read this book and it was lit. I'm not even joking. It was lit, fam. So I get back to her, I'm like, yo, this book is so good. Like, I want you to write part 2 to this and part 3 and 4 right now. I can't even wait for this to get published. And she was like, you know, she was very grateful and everything. But it was like, you know, where you're sort of like, you know, boosting up your friend to improve their confidence. And I'm like, I need you to sign it. So she signed it for me, and it was nice and everything. Still have that book. And then later on in the future, fast forward a couple months, I'm on Amazon, you know, looking for this book, and I find it there. But the author for this book is a different name. So I was like, wait, did my new bestie just plagiarize someone's book? And was this like some sort of joke that she was, because this book was doing very well on Amazon, selling a lot of copies. People were going crazy for it. So I was like, you know what, let me talk to her before anything. So I'm like, okay, screenshot, texted to her, hey, look what I found on Amazon. So now at this point I'm like, you're busted. All this jig is up. And then she drops a bomb on me. Come to find out that the name on this book is actually her pen name, and that is her, and she's some sort of famous, well-known writer that was here just talking to me about Fall Out Boy. I was like, what? Why didn't you tell me this a little bit earlier? Then Fall Out Boy would have definitely happened, but not really, because that's not me. It was something completely unrelated. But I was like, yo, why didn't you tell me this? And she was genuinely just like, it's not a big deal. It's, you know, it's just what I do. I enjoy doing it. I'm not here for the money or the fame or anything. This is just what I genuinely like doing. And I also like Fall Out Boy and green hair. So we, of course, don't talk a whole lot these days because she's, you know, busy being a famous writer. But yeah, crazy story of how I met super awesome, super famous writer. Alright, so how are we doing so far? We have 2 stories out of the way, and maybe those 2 are completely true stories. Maybe one of them is not so much a completely true story. Let's jump into story number 3. This story actually starts from a lot earlier in my lifetime than the other 2. This one starts from when I was younger, like in primary school, grade 3 or so. Now, going to school in grade 3, I was in Jamaica, and I have, you know, very Jamaican mother. And of course, for all you other Jamaicans out there, you know how it is that when you get sick, you're not missing a day of school. Unless you are literally passed out, unable to get out of bed, then you're going to school. No matter how sick you are, you're going to school. So I never really got sick a whole lot, you know, maybe once in a while I'd get the cold or, you know, like the random flu here or there, but I was overall a very healthy child, barely missed a single day of school when it comes to sickness or anything like that. And I was super, like proud of myself, and I was like, you know what, I've never really missed a day of school. Even the last day of school, when it's basically optional, I'm still there at school turning up. And that basically continued until one day I sort of noticed that I was getting headaches. And these headaches, they wouldn't really go away. It would be like I've had a headache for the past 3 days straight. And at one point I thought that it could be a migraine, but I also knew that it could not be, because I grew up with an older brother who had migraines, so I knew what a migraine looked like, and I knew that that was not what I was feeling, but it was definitely a headache. So eventually, went to see my doctor about this headache. My doctor's like, you're fine, take some painkillers, it'll be all good. That did not actually help much. It was still there, it was still constant, but now I noticed that my headache is sort of stretching downwards a little bit and becoming like a back / upper body ache, and nothing seemed to really help at that point. So go back to my doctor, and this is where it started getting really scary. After a while, my doctor was like, maybe you have a tumor, so we're gonna do all the necessary scans and all the necessary checks just to see if you have a tumor. So at this point, I was super terrified. I was like, I just turned a teenager. I haven't done anything yet. My life is just beginning. I haven't had my first kiss yet. Nothing like that. But here I am. I'm finna die right now. I don't even know what to do. I was super terrified. But luckily, it played out. Doctor got the test and everything. She was like, nah, you're fine. You don't have a tumor, but we still don't know what's going on. Fast forward a few years, skipping down the line, just, you know, for the sake of keeping it short and sweet. Turns out that basically, you know how when something is wrong in your body and your nerves sort of say, hey, this part of your body itches, or hey, something is on your arm, there's some pain going on here, you should take care of it. My nerves apparently just say that most of the time for no reason. So it's pain a lot, and basically nothing's really causing it. To add to that as well, throughout my teenage years, I also got diagnosed with clinical depression, also got diagnosed with being on the autistic spectrum, and a whole other host of medical issues that I thought, you know, it was just never me. I was a healthy kid. I was doing all the right things, making all the right moves. But then by the time I was in my mid-teenage years, it was just like, bam, you have these conditions and they're gonna stay with you for the rest of your life. Deal with it. Stay breezy, bro. There's nothing more to do other than to live with it, make a YouTube channel, put a video out about it, and I don't know, get all this paper, son. Right, so that wraps up story number 3. Alright, so that's it. I have laid out the minefield. I've given you guys 3 very personal stories. 2 of them are 110% true, and one of them is 50 or so percent. One of them is just not something you should believe. There's some truth in the one that's not true, just to make it even more believable, but 2 of them are 110% true. And I cannot wait to see which one you guys think is not true and why it is that you think it's not true. So please feel free, post it in the comments below. I'm gonna be checking out. I will try to respond to every single comment that gets posted, because this is something I'm really interested in. And also, now you guys can say that you've gotten to know Chemeasy a little bit better, and sounds like a win-win. See, this is a fun game, and this is a good relationship we have here. So let's keep it going. Thank you guys so much for listening to my crazy stories, and actually have a lot more crazy stories, even crazier stories than that. But thank you guys so much for listening to my stories. Please hit that like button and, you know, do all the awesome things that it is that you guys do. Thank you so much, and I am gonna cut it and paste it right there. I'll see you guys later. Love you.